everyone, welcome back to the homestead. My name is Casey. So on today's video, it was week 1 last week of the Everybitcountschallenge challenge. So I've basically been doing videos, and the challenge is to can, preserve, freeze, dehydrate something every day for the month of August. So I documented that throughout the week. I'm going to be doing that all through the month of August. It is hosted by Jessica at Three Rivers Homestead. Her channel is just amazing, absolutely amazing. If you have not checked out her channel, I will of course leave a link up in the corner in the little index card for you to head over and check that out. Now, let's get into the intro so I can talk about what I did the first week.
I'm coming home.
Alrighty, so full disclaimer, let me tell you, my garden has been doing amazing, but a lot of stuff has been canned and preserved in July because it was just so hot, so much water that all of my stuff came ready earlier than normal. So it's been very creative how I have tried to find different stuff to use and to preserve through this month, because my garden is pretty much done until around mid-September when the fall stuff will be coming back. But was able to do it. I'm still gonna do it all this month. So the first thing on day 1 that I did was I canned pizza sauce. Now, last year, when I first joined in on this challenge, I only canned tomato sauce because I was like, well, I can turn it into pizza sauce or turn it into pasta sauce, and you can. It's the easy way to do it. But I noticed more waste because, again, you don't need much pasta sauce or much pizza sauce as you do pasta sauce. And we go through a lot of both, and I didn't want any waste, so I did them separately this year. So basically what I did was, like I do with all of my tomato sauce bases, is I put them in my roaster 24 hours, let them cook down with bell peppers. I always put bell peppers in either my pasta sauce or tomato sauce. And then I blended it up. And then I went ahead, brought it back up to a boil, and added in the pizza seasoning. Now, I will leave the recipe in the description box below. I have a pizza seasoning recipe that I use. So basically for this, I used 1/4 of a teaspoon of that seasoning and 1/4 of a teaspoon of citric acid in this, and poured the sauce right on top of it, and then water bath canned it. So that was day 1. And let me tell you, I used, of course, my 4-jar lids. I absolutely love 4 jars. I can't tell you how much I love my 4-jar lids. I have never in my canning life, which has only been a couple years, had 100% seal rate like I do now with 4 jars. And it is a US-based company. Love them. I always have a link in my description box and in my Linktree link that you can go and use Ormsby 10 and get 10% off of your purchase, because now is the time, y'all. Start ordering those lids, and I'll tell you, they come really fast. I ordered and it was like 2 days later. It's like Amazon fast, y'all. So let's go on to day 2. I need to take a sip of a drink because I'm gonna be talking a lot in this video. And yes, I love my soda stream. I'm gonna talk about that in another video. But day 2, we had gotten a picnic ham, I guess you call them, or like a Christmas ham, spiral ham, from a farmer locally. And we wanted it for meats, for lunch meats, because processed lunch meats that you get at the store are horrible for you. So we got that, we sliced it off, but then what do you do with a ham bone? So Mom is known for her soups here. So we did a ham and bean soup, and it was able to make about 4 quarts of soup. Now we can our soups for convenience, because a quart is like a dinner for 2. in the winter when things are busy, or you're busy making candles or soaps or just living life. This is an easy one to pop out, crack open, bring it back up to a boil, and serve it up. So basically that's what we did, is we cooked the ham soup. We let it sit for a day in the refrigerator because whatever fat's there will skim off the top. And then I just gave it an inch of a headspace in a quart jar and used the 4-jar lids, same thing. And I pressure canned this. I pressure canned it for 90 minutes. Now, anytime that you're pressure canning, make sure that you use a certified recipe that you get in one of your books, either by Ball or Ball is the one I love. I'm gonna put the picture of one right up here. And make sure that you look up the time of the soups. The rule of thumb really is the longest time of one thing, whether it's the meat or the beans or whatever, the longest time is the one you should go with. That's rule of thumb, but definitely look up certified recipes that you are going to can. It's just safety for your family, because y'all, botulism is a real thing. It's a silent killer. But yeah, so that was day 2. We did a ham and bean soup. It looks so, y'all, it is so good. Let me just first say that. But it's very pretty. It's very pretty to look at. I love the color. So that was day 2. Day 3. Another thing, convenience-wise, that I love to do is I love to pre-prep appetizers. And I didn't feel like doing canning that day. You know, when you do this challenge, you get burnt off really, really quickly on canning. So I was like, let me do some freezing preserving for the next couple of days. And that's what I did. So I got jalapenos. So what I do with my jalapenos, because our jalapeno plants are doing so amazing right now, is I like to cut them in half. I like to scrape out the center of the seeds, the membrane, and flash freeze them so that they can pop out and are single serve. But then I store them in a gallon bag because I like to do stuffed jalapenos. Now I've done it on a video, and I will leave it right up here, which is cream cheese and sausage and seasoning, and you do a spoonful in the middle of the jalapeno. But while your jalapenos are doing so good, why not go ahead and prep your jalapenos ahead of time? Now, all I have to do is just pull out a couple that I want to do and stuff them, and they're ready to go. And I air fry mine, and you can air fry them from frozen. So that's what I did for day 3, was prepping the jalapenos. Make sure, disclaimer, that you are wearing some type of gloves. You don't want to be that person that does it gloveless and then decides to wipe your nose or wipe your eyes, and you got jalapeno or spicy pepper juices all over your hands. Okay? So that was day 3. Day 4. Most of y'all know that follow me is that we sell breads, homemade breads, bagels, hoagies, artisans, rolls at farmers markets. But when I'm making our bread, I like to also make bread for my family for a long period of time. Now, this right here is our Italian urban cheese bread. And these are the bags that we use to sell, but also I store my frozen bread in them. We got asked what kind of bags they were on our Facebook group. And I'm just gonna go out and say, y'all, I am sorry, I do not check all of my messages as much as I should. So I did not see it until later, and I do not know the name. I just know they're on Amazon. And just so you know, everything that I talk about, bags, cans, jars, is always in our Amazon storefront, because sometimes that's the most convenient to get it from. And I know I'm gonna hear from people, you should have wrapped it in plastic, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you, this works for me. I've done it for a couple years. I like it this way. I literally, all I do is put it in the bag that we sell it in. It goes into the freezer, and I pull it out a day before. It doesn't change the shape. It doesn't change the texture. It doesn't change the taste. So I've also done a video on how I make my Amish bread. And if you want that, that will be in the index card. But yes, that's what I did for day 4, is I stocked up some breads for the next couple of months, because at last, without getting freezer burned, because I did kind of test this out, is about 6 months in these bags too. can leave them in this bag up to 6 months and it will not change texture, any of that. So that's what I do. Because when I'm baking so much to sell, I sometimes forget about us. And then we add a bread and I'm supposed to have a sandwich on a lettuce wrap. Anyways, that was day 4. 4, that's right. All right, I wanted to go put the freezer stuff back in the freezer so it did not defrost while I'm shooting this video. Day 5, which was a Saturday. I do a lot of canning on Saturday, and I've had in my roaster, since I think it was Thursday, more tomatoes. Because one thing that I like to do is when I don't have time to can right then, the abundance of tomatoes that you get, I go ahead and I core them, and I put them straight in a Kroger bag in the freezer to sit until I'm ready to do something with them. And then when I pop them, I pull them out, I dice them, we'll quarter them really, with some bell peppers, and I roast that in a turkey roaster. And then I'll blend it up, and then I'll decide whether I want to do just tomato sauce, which is what that would be, or pasta sauce, or like I did on day 1, I did the pizza sauce. So I decided to do pasta sauce on this batch of tomatoes. Now, what I do with a quart, again, I used my four jars lids, and I got my quarts nice and clean, and I went ahead and I did a half a teaspoon of citric acid, I did a half a teaspoon of salt, and I did a half a teaspoon of an Italian seasoning blend that I do. I will leave it in the description box below if you are interested in that seasoning mix. I put that at the bottom of the quart jars, fill it up with the tomato sauce, and then I put it in my water bath canner. Now, this batch of ones, because I did not want to wait for my water bath canner to heat up and all that kind of stuff, I put it in the pressure canner right behind me, and I did 20 minutes at 6 pounds of pressure. Now, I got that from my Ball Book of Home Preserving. Make sure, again, when you are pressure canning, that it is a certified recipe and you follow the instructions on how long to do it for your elevation, so on and so forth there. So I did it for 20 minutes at 6 pounds of pressure. It turned out beautiful. Anytime you're doing any type of canning, let it sit for 24 hours, and then you can go ahead, take the rings off, wipe everything down, label, and put it up on your canning shelf. So that was my day 5. And I pulled out the pressure canner because I knew on today when I canned my potatoes. Now, this is something new that I've started to do, and I absolutely love them. I've been doing more and more, and we have this wonderful friend who sells potatoes at the farmer's market because I can't grow potatoes very well, still trying to learn. And we pretty much buy up her potatoes and can it. What I do basically is, as you can tell, I keep the skins on. Don't come for me in that comment. It says how I do it. There's all that nutrition in the skins that you do not want to get rid of. So I wash them thoroughly. I dice them up into those kind of bite-sized chunks, and I put them straight into your clean and sterile quart jar. Now, I did a video on it, it's up here. I just want to make sure that I remember. I think it's a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, onion powder, parsley, basil, and salt. Put it all in the top of those potatoes. And then I literally do a teapot, fill it up with warm water, doesn't even have to be boiling water. Warm water, pour it over your potatoes, wipe, put your 4-jar lid on, ring, and then pressure can it for 40 minutes. I had to get up and look, y'all. This is the book that I'm always talking about, favorite book ever. But 40 minutes, you are going to pressure can your potatoes. I do it, I put a lot of away because all you do when you're ready to use it is dump out the water. I pour this in the air fryer. It's already seasoned, it's all ready to go. I drizzle it with a little bit of oil, your oil of choice, and then air fry it on 400 for 18 minutes. and it's crispy, delicious potatoes. So that is what we did Sunday, today when I'm shooting, and put that away for the winter. Now, when this video comes out, it will be Monday, and make sure you are heading over to my Instagram to see what I'm doing for day 7. And thank y'all for tuning in to this first week 1 of the video of the Every Bit Counts Challenge. If you want to join in, post on Instagram, post on Facebook, post on YouTube, and use the hashtag. I'm gonna put it right here, and make sure to tag Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead in your post. It's a super fun way to not get overwhelmed while prepping for the winter. Because if you want to strive to eat all of your own homegrown foods, you know, it could get overwhelming at some point, but doing one thing a day really makes it spread out so where you don't go cuckoo, cuckoo. But y'all, thank you for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you know that anytime that new content drops to the channel, because I drop videos pretty sporadically. And make sure you're also following me on Instagram along with all the other social media channels to see the pictures every single day of what I'm preserving. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok, and I'm on Twitter, which is now called X, so I may have to change this thing on the screen. But I'm also on Threads, and all of that is at Ormsby Farm. So I will see you on the next video. I hope y'all are blessed and are taking care of each other and having a wonderful summer. See you on the next video.
I'm coming